Welcome to this episode of Ask Aviel. My name is Aviel. You can ask me questions so that we can share, learn, and grow together. Today, I want to talk about biblical leprosy, or the right terminology to use is Tzaraat. Biblical leprosy is not modern leprosy, or what we know as Hansen's disease. This illness afflicted the leper as punishment for sin. It was considered a divine curse because it was a chronic and incurable disease. The King James translates Tzaraat as leprosy. It is derived from the Septuagint's Greek term lepra, meaning scaly or rough skin. The sufferer of Tzaraat is diagnosed as sick, but he is never treated. He is banished from the community, but not contagious. The need for quarantine is not because of fear that others would contract the illness. Any teachings that biblical leprosy or Tzaraat is contagious is inconsistent with the scriptures. Note that the Kohen or priest is not worried about himself when he examines the person's skin. Rather, it is the sufferer of Tzaraat that becomes tameh or impure, and his or her presence is therefore disruptive to the holiness or kedusha of the camp. The leper is then quarantined from the camp, tabernacle, and the Kehilat kedusha, the holy community. The Metzora is Hebrew for the one being diseased and refers to the leper. The word Metzora is derived from the words Motzi Shem Ra, meaning the one who brings forth an evil name. Tzaraat is an infection as a punishment for slander or lashon hara, evil speech. The skin condition begins with a series of descriptions of the signs that indicate its presence, such as swelling, rash, and white discoloration. The diagnosis of Tzaraat afflicts the skin, then the bodily extremities, the hair, and the head. After that, the infection moves outward from the body to clothing, and then still further outward to the walls of the house. The person is then to approach a priest who will decide on its status depending on its appearance. Leviticus 13 says that the Kohen is to examine him, and behold, if the rising of the plague is reddish white on his bald head or bald forehead, like the appearance of Tzaraat in the skin of the flesh, he is a man with Tzaraat. He is unclean. The Kohen shall definitely pronounce him unclean. His plague mark is on his head. The one with Tzaraat who has the plague mark should wear torn clothes. The hair of his head is to hang loose. He is to cover his upper lip and cry, "Unclean, unclean." All the days during which the plague is on him, he will be unclean. He is unclean. He is to dwell alone outside of the camp, will be his dwelling. Leviticus 14:3. And the Kohen is to go to the outside of the camp. The Kohen is to examine him, and behold, if the mark of Tzaraat is healed in one with Tzaraat, the Kohen priest goes to see the afflicted person outside the camp and inspect the infection. The scriptures of Leviticus never explain its cause or suggest any specific treatment for Tzaraat. Some of the people who were afflicted with Tzaraat were Moses in Exodus 4 when he argued with God that Israel would not believe him or listen to his voice. Miriam in Numbers 12 when she spoke evil speech lashon hara against Moses. Naaman in 2 Kings 5, he was the commander of the army of the king of Aram. Gehazi in 2 Kings 5, greed overtook him and he accepted 2 talents of silver in 2 bags with 2 changes of clothes. 4 unnamed men in 2 Kings 7 who saved all Israel from a famine caused by a siege by King Ben-Hadad of Aram. King Azariah or Uzziah in 1 Chronicles 26, his heart grew haughty that he acted corruptly. He trespassed against Adonai his God by entering into the temple of Adonai to burn incense upon the altar of incense, to do the duties of a priest. In Matthew 11, Yeshua explained that lepers were cleansed, showing that he was the Messiah because he healed the sick. Luke 17 tells us that Yeshua healed 10 men with leprosy. Matthew 8 tells us of an account where a leper or Metzora said to Yeshua, "If you are willing, you can make me clean." And what did Yeshua do? Vayishlach Yeshua et yado vayiga. And Yeshua sent forth his hand, and he touched him. What did Yeshua say? Kafetz anoki, I desire it, I am willing, I will it. I would love to make you clean. Yeshua touched the Metzora. He absorbed all the Tzaraat, and he made the Metzora clean. Leviticus 14 tells us the procedure that takes place when the Tzaraat is healed in the Metzora. The Kohen is to command that 2 clean living birds, cedar wood, scarlet, and hyssop, be brought for the one being cleansed. The Kohen should command them to kill one of the birds in a clay pot over living water. As for the living bird, he is to take it, the cedar wood, the scarlet, and the hyssop, bundle them together, and dip them with the living bird into the blood of the bird that was killed over the living water. He is to sprinkle the blood and water mixture on the one being cleansed from the Tzaraat 7 times, and pronounce him clean, then release the living bird over the open field. When it was believed that someone was healed of Tzaraat, the Metzora did not come to the tabernacle to see the priest. The priest was the one who went out of the camp to the Metzora to make the examination. Tzaraat is inflicted by God for sin, mainly evil speech and slander against another person. It is not the same as Hansen's disease. In the cleansing ritual of Tzaraat, living water was used for this procedure. It refers to water that comes from a flowing source, such as a spring, river, or creek, not from a well or cistern. It was pure, fresh, flowing water. The 2 birds are there to atone for sins. Rashi explains that since birds constantly chirp, they are brought as the remedy for misguided chatter and malicious slander. Because the plagues of leprosy come as a punishment for slander which is done by chattering, therefore birds are compulsory for the Metzora's purification. Because these chatter, as it were, continuously with a twittering sound. The Keli Yakar explains that the 2 identical birds, which symbolize our speech, represent the past and the future respectively. The bird of the past is sacrificed to signify the cessation of negative speech. The bird that is slaughtered represents that the one healed of Tzaraat will cut himself off from idle chatter, and much more from evil talk itself. The bird of the future is set free, signifying the potential for positive change. The bird that is set free is to point to pure speech, to prepare the mouth and tongue to speak words of Torah. What can we learn from this study of Tzaraat? We learned that Tzaraat or biblical leprosy is not the same as modern-day leprosy, which is Hansen's disease. Tzaraat is caused by Lashon Hara or evil speech. The ritual of purity for a Metzora of slaughtering the bird of the past signifies cutting off evil negative speech. Setting the second bird free helps the person to start a new life using his or her words and abilities, not for the destruction of others, but to build them up. The bird which is set free flies away, symbolizing the spreading of our wings for a positive transformation. Thank you for joining me. I pray that this message inspires and challenges you. God bless you and your family. Shalom.